Lesson 3.3, Rate of Change and Slope. Our essential question is, how do you find the slope of a line from a graph? We have 5 new vocab words, and for each of these words I'm going to draw a picture for you. The first one is positive slope. When a line has a positive slope, it's going up from left to right. Okay, my second vocab word is a negative slope. A negative slope is a line that slants downward from left to right. I think about figuring out the slope of a line just like reading. You read words from the left to the right. You also read the slope of a line from left to right. The next two are easily confused. We've got a zero slope and an undefined slope. A slope of 0 means that there is no slope. Something that has no slope is flat. So horizontal. All horizontal lines have no slopes. And then the exact opposite would be an undefined slope. That's not flat where there's no slope. That's when it is so steep, it's straight up and down. So it's kind of like the maximum slope. That's undefined. So think about dangerous slopes when you're skiing and snowboarding, and they are vertical. They are vertical drops. So that's an undefined slope. Then our last vocab word is the slope formula. The letter M stands for the slope. If you want to find out why it's the letter M instead of the letter S, you should Google it and figure out who invented the idea of slope and where the letter M comes from. But the slope formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and that's the slope of the line through any 2 points on a coordinate grid. So the slope of any 2 points. The line through, I should say. The slope of the line through any 2 points. X1, Y1 would be the ordered pair, the first ordered pair, and X2, Y2 would be the second ordered pair, like that. And you just plug in the coordinates and then simplify the fraction. Okay, find the slope of the line by counting the rise and the run. So the slope of the line is the change in Y divided by the change in X. Rise over run. So when you're looking at a graph, you don't have to use the slope formula that I wrote on the previous slide. You can simply count the rise and count the run. Make sure that you start at the point on the left. Remember, read your slope left to right. Left to right. So what that means is I start at this point on the left, right here, and I'm going to count the rise. So I go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So rise 5, and then I go over 1. So rise 5, run 1. 5 divided by 1 is 5. The slope of that line is positive 5. The line is going uphill from left to right. Rising up is a positive. Running over to the right is a positive. Next one, rise over run again. Start at the point on the left. This one I'm going to need to rise by going down. So I go down 1, and then I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 1/4 is my slope. So for the rise, you're going up or down. Up would be a positive, down would be a negative. And when you run, you're always going over to the right. Because if we start out at the point on the left, you're always moving to the right. So up or down will give us the positive or negative sign on the slope. And then running over to the right, that's always going to be the positive direction. So this line is going downhill from left to right. It makes sense my slope is negative. Next one. This one doesn't have any points that are graphed for us. So I need to find some good points. Make sure that you pick points right where the grid lines cross. So this point right here looks like a really good intersection point for me. And so does this point up here. So you've got to be very picky about the points that you choose to use for counting your slope. Now we can do rise over run again. Start at the point on the left. I'm going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4. 6/4 reduces to 3 halves. So my slope is 3 halves. And it's positive. It's rising from left to right. Another one like that. This intercept point looks good to me. And I think this point looks good to use. Rise over run. Starting on the left, I go down 1. So negative 1. And then I go over 2. So slope negative 1/2. This one is flat. It has no slope. My slope is 0. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0. This one is vertical, so it is undefined. It's too steep to even put a number on it. It's straight up and down, undefined. Okay, you should be able to write a summary now about finding slope from a graph and check with your teacher for your homework assignment.